Convenient, huh? Pray with Connor every game.
Brainerd Bantam AA team versus Rock Ridge. The last game of the weekend here up in Hibbing. Got Henson Norris. Got my glasses on here. So we get another whistle. Assume that's Gaken out there. And pop in with Reed. Back on deep. Up behind the Brainerd net. Henson battling. Cleared out by Reed up to the blue line. Henson chips it forward a little bit. No, that was Gaken. Rock Ridge back into the Brainerd zone on the right side, top of the circle. They pass it to the near side. D, he dumps it in, or tries to, but he's knocked off the puck by Norris. Puck comes out. Henson carries it down ice. He's checked down. And he enters the Rock Ridge zone. Shot from Rock Ridge goes wide, deep into the Brainerd zone. Lick tries to carry it out. It poked off his stick at the blue line. And puck trickles on to goal, swept away by Van Wingeren. Lick behind the net. Sends it up along the boards, ends up out in neutral zone. Rock Ridge picks it back up, and they dump it in deep. Push out across the blue line by Leary and all the way down ice. It's going to be an icing. Norris on the face-off. Back to Lee. Over to Potvin. Skated out by Norris up the middle. Splits the D. Loses the puck into the corner. Battling in the corner there. Roush in there with him. Roush back to the other corner now. Chasing after the puck. Out to Potvin. Potvin fires it. Blocker save by Rock Ridge goalie. Out in neutral zone. Lee pushes it forward for Bloom. Bloom intercepts the pass right out front. Passes to Norris. High slot shot. Saved by Rock Ridge goalie. Up deep in the zone. And Rock Ridge clears it out to the point. It's dumped back in by Lee. Pushed out to Lee by Roush. Over to Potvin, far side. Norris picks it up on the blue line, skates it in. Shot from top of the circle, saved and covered by Rock Ridge goalie. 12-13 left in the first period. Blake on the face-off. Blake with the puck. Comes away from the wall. Shot on a tough angle, goes over the net. Near side, Reed pushes it back deep into the zone. Up along the far side wall, kept in by Velasco, and then chipped out all the way down ice for an icing on Rock Ridge. Lick on the face-off again. Leary and Gaken on wing. Reed and Velasco on D. Velasco dumps it in along the wall. Picked up by Gaken. He's knocked down. Leary returns a check. Rockridge clears the puck out. They're down ice, left wing side, tripped up by Reed, and Reed sends it back in neutral zone for Leary. Leary skates it down ice. Loose puck deep in the zone, picked up by Leary. Backhand pass up through the slot, kept in by Reed on one knee. Leary on the far side of the zone, chips it over to Reed. Reed down low to Gakin. Gakin passes it into the slot. Traffic, puck bounces around and sent out to the point and into the neutral zone where Reed will pick it up. Velasco deep in the Brainerd zone behind the net. Sends it to the far side. Bloom up the right side into the zone. Circles behind the Rockridge net, waiting for a line change on the rest of the team. Tying it up in the corner. It's taken away from him. Henson comes in. Chases after it behind the net. Books. No, that's Roush. Shot from the point by Lee over the net. In the far corner, Roush backhands it for Bloom. Pokes it behind the net. Into the near corner, Henson picks it up. Henson and Bloom battling in the near corner of the Rockridge zone. Stolen away by Rockridge, who tries to launch it out of the zone. Picked up out in the neutral zone. Over to Lee. Lee tries to pass it forward, but goes off his shin pad. Has to dump it back to Hoff. Hoff sends it forward to Bloom, goes off his stick into the Rockridge zone for an icing. 9:52 left in the first period. Shots on goal 2-0. Score 0-0. Lick on the face-off. Wins it back to Potman in the corner. He gets tied up. Potman comes away with it. Up along the boards to Books. Bounces off his stick and across the neutral zone. Rockridge with it deep in their zone. Skate it back out. Books into the Rockridge zone. Centers it. Leary. Shot is tipped high into the netting and a whistle. Face-off left wing circle in the Rockridge zone. Lick Books Leary with Reed and Potbin. Rockridge wins the face-off. Books in the near corner, backhands it to Lick right out front. He gets tied up, can't get a shot off. Potbin picks up the puck in the corner, sends it to Leary behind the net. Leary still with the puck, nice backhand centering pass. Lick can't get his stick on it, poked away by the goalie. Leary tries to send it to the slot. It gets deflected out and down into the Brainerd zone. Potman after it. Potman to Leary in the Brainerd zone. Leary in the near corner. Reed to Bloom. Bloom sends it in for a Brainerd line change as Lick chases after it. Lick control the puck. Norris grabs a loose puck on the far wall. Behind the net, in the near corner. Gakin sends it out to the point. Hoff sends it back. Puck behind the net now. Rockridge by themselves. Henson steals the puck away. Backhands it to Leary, or to Gakin. Spins and shoots, goes high and wide. Norris on the far wall. Henson there to help him. Norris. Henson battling on the far wall in the Rockridge zone. Norris kicks it forward across the goal line. Henson and Norris still battling for the puck. Deep in the Rockridge zone. It's backhanded out to the point. Bounces over Hoff's stick. And they're calling that a high stick because it was tipped down, I think, by Norris. Face off back in the Brainerd zone now. 7:48 left in the first period. Still no score. Henson on the face-off. Wins it back to Lee. Lee sends it behind the Brainerd net. Gakin and Potvin go after it. Gakin sends it up ice. It's tipped, so no icing. Norris chasing after it into the Rockridge zone along with Henson. Gakin in the far corner steals the puck. Looking for someone to pass to out front. Lots of traffic. It bounces out to the blue line. Kept in by Lee. And offsides, I guess. Must have bounced just over the blue line. So face off just outside the Rockridge zone. Lick, Bloom, Roush. Lee and Potvin. Over to Potvin. He dumps it deep in the Rockridge zone. Lick after it behind the net. He gets tied up. Bloom there to help him. Rockridge able to clear it out. Push it forward and tied up by Potvin at the red line as the loose puck comes down ice for an icing. Face off will come back to the Rockridge zone now. 6:59 left. Lick rush Bloom with Lee and Potvin. Lick on the face-off, left wing circle, pushes it forward. Picked up by Rockridge. He skated out through the neutral zone. Tied up at the red line a little bit, but the puck trickles into the Brainerd zone. Rockridge picks it up behind the net now, circling. Tries to spin and shoot. Loose puck picked up by Bloom. He skates it down ice into the Rockridge zone on the left side. Into the far corner, out to the point. Potvin shot, blocker save, rebound, shot by Velasco, also saved and covered for a whistle. .6:30 left first. We got 5 shots on goal. They have 0 so far. Henson on the face-off. Books and Norris, or Books and Leary out. On wing. Off and Reed on D. Rockridge into the Brainerd zone. Slap shot from the high left wing circle. Goes wide. Comes out to the point. Picked up by Reed, who skates it through the neutral zone up the middle. Shot. High slot. Glove saved by Rockridge goalie. Henson booked Leary out now with Off and Reed. Henson battling behind the net. Rockridge comes away with it, trying to clear it out. Puck trickles into the center zone, and they chip it out on the near side boards into the neutral zone. Pops over the boards and whistled dead. Face off just outside the blue line now. Henson, Rockridge wins that face-off. We chip it back out to red line. Henson picks it up, sends it over to Hoff. It bounces off his stick. Rockridge in the neutral zone. They dump it in on the near side. Hoff in after it. He spins away, sends it up ice, just out of Henson's reach. It goes all the way down ice for an icing whistle. .22 left in the first. With Norris, Gakin, and Lee and Velasco out on D. Rockridge deep in the Brainerd zone on the near side corner. They send it up along the wall to their D. Tries to fire it in. It hits traffic. Picked up by Lick, who gets his feet taken out from underneath him. So Brainerd going to go on the power play here now. Tripping. Lick, Roush, Bloom, Reed, and Velasco. Velasco at the point with the puck. Shifts towards the right side, over to Reed, skates up close, loose puck in the slot, bounces out, and Velasco keeps it in. Reed turns back towards the net, shot, saved by Rock Ridge. 4:46 left in the period. We got a minute 42 left in our power play. Face off, left wing circle. Lick wins it back to Velasco. Shifts towards the center of the zone. It's poked off his stick. Rock Ridge with a breakaway. Reed giving chase. Tries a deke, and Ben Wingren reads that. Nice right leg pad save. So he tries to deke around him and shuts him down. Minute 26 left in our power play. Face off, left wing circle, Brainerd zone. Looks like Norris is taking the face off. Chips it forward, Rockridge D swings it behind the net. Lee, Gakin up the middle, passes it to Leary in the neutral zone. He gets tied up as he crosses the blue line and puck poked back out to neutral zone. Back to Leary on the near side boards. In across the line now. Gakin chasing after it. With Leary. Gakin steals it away. Gakin behind the net. Over to Leary. Leary sends it out to Lee at the point. Lee to Hoff. Hoff back to Leary on the left side. Off the shin pad. And Rock Ridge clears it out. Lee has to skate back into our zone. Sends it around behind the net along the boards. Picked up by Hoff. Over to Leary. Center ice. Leary stops just inside the blue line. Sends it to Lee, who dumps it in. Hoff and Gakin. In the near corner, Gakin picks it up. Sends it out to Lee. Lee can't keep it inside zone. They have to reset. Leary deep to Lee. Lee. Pass to Norris, goes off a skate. Rock Ridge sends it back down ice for an icing. 2 seconds left in the power play. 7 shots on goal. Brainerd, 0 for Rock Ridge. And we got 3:06 left in the first period. Henson, Bloom, Roush. Face off win one to Velasco, who dumps it in deep. Roush in after it. Both teams at full strength. Rockridge clears it out. Potvin in the neutral zone over to Velasco near side. Back to Potvin. Chips it up to Bloom. Bloom skates it in on the left side. Deep in the zone now. Picked up by Henson, chip forward to the near corner. Roush, the near wall of the zone. Out to Velasco. His wrist shot goes wide. Bloom picks it up. Bloom still with the puck. Out to Velasco. Wrist shot. Stick save by Rockridge goalie. 2:22 left. In the face-off, wins it over to Bloom. Bloom sends it out to Velasco. Velasco, wrist shot, glove save. Line change, Brainerd, Lick, Larry Books, Hoff and Reed. Out to Hoff. Hoff skates it in deep into the Rockridge zone behind the net now. Tries the centering pass, goes off a skate. Rockridge tries to send along the near side wall. It's intercepted by Leary. Leary with the puck now in the near corner. Centering pass. Pops out to the point. Reed chips it over to Hoff. Hoff Back to Reed. Reed steps up from the right wing circle. Nice shot off. Blocker save. Rebound. Loose out front. Lick gets tripped up. Puck kept in. Off. Near side boards. Sends it out to the point. Nobody's there. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. And down into the Brainerd zone. And what are they going to call here? Interference. Interference penalty on Reed. Looks like they're battling for the puck to me, just in the neutral zone. But Brainerd on the penalty kill. 1:30 left in the first period. Leary on the face-off. Rockridge wins it out to their left D. To their left wing, back out to the point, but it's intercepted by Brooks, who gets it out across the line. He gets tied up in the neutral zone, but gets it down into the Rockridge zone. Leary battles it down into the corner. Rockridge pushed deep into their zone. Kept in by Lee. Rockridge grabs it and skates it down ice. Up the right side. Centering pass. A little deflection goes off the post. Rockridge controlling the puck. 1:23 left in their power play. Rockridge left D shoots. Pad save by Van Wingren. Lee puts it up on the wall, sends it to Brooks, and he chips it out into neutral zone, forcing Rockridge to reset. They carry it in on the right side. Drop pass to the right D. Shot, stick save by Van Wingren. One minute left and penalty kill. Brainerd, 29 seconds on the clock for the period. Gakin on the face-off, wins it back to Potvin, sends it behind the Brainerd net. Picked up by Hoff, gets it out to the blue line. Rockridge stopped him just inside the zone, and they pick up the puck, skate back, and shoot from left wing circle, and score into the top right corner, glove side for Van Wingren. So Brainerd, Rockridge, that's their first shot on goal, according to the clock. I'm pretty sure I've announced a few saves already by Van Wingren, so they're not keeping an accurate shot on goal tally here. Loose puck off the face-off, ends up in the Brainerd bench for a whistle. 7 seconds left on the clock. Lick comes away with it, 3 seconds. Across the blue line, cuts towards the middle. Not able to get a shot off. The buzzer goes off. So, 1 minute break here. They're gonna Zamboni between the second and third periods. They're only doing 15-minute periods now. Start of the second period. Lick, Roush, and Bloom. Puck in the neutral zone. Roush dumps it back to Reed. Reed over to Lee, sends it forward to Lick. Lick skates it in on the right wing side, tied up just as he gets inside the blue line. Bloom there to help him. Lick comes away with it, dumps it deeper into the Rock Ridge zone. Puck loose along the wall. Excuse me, battling near side, Rock Ridge. Controlling, they send it out in the neutral zone up the right side. Get in zone, shot on goal, deflected away. And Lick picks up the loose puck in the Brainerd zone and skates it out. Lick tries to go up the middle, it's poked off his stick. Reed dumps it in deep. Bloom back to Reed. Reed shot from the point. Puck dribbles through the crease and back, gets chipped back in the crease by Lick, but swept away and out to neutral zone. Reed forced to retrieve it to Lee. Lee sends it up along the boards to Lick, who chips it forward across the goal line. Bloom up out in neutral zone. Potvin chips it forward for Norris. Norris gets tied up and back out in the neutral zone. Lee sends it up the far side wall for an icing. We're going to finish their line change here. Ensign, Norris, Gaken with Velasco and Potvin on D. Ensign wins the face-off. Velasco, the puck in the corner, sends it up along the wall. It's kept in by Rock Ridge. Shot goes into traffic. Loose puck behind the net, picked up by Henson. Sends it along the wall for Gaken. Gaken skates it out, chips it over to Potvin. Sends it to Norris. Intercepted pass. Ends up down in Brainerd zone. Henson after it. Sends it behind the net to Potvin. Puck loose out front. And it dribbles behind the net. Potvin sweeps it up. Puck loose in the slot again. Velasco tries to Blair. Henson pokes it forward to Gaken. It ends up out to the point, and they dump it back in. Norris picks it up in the far wall, skates it out. Pass to Bloom, is tipped away deep into the Rock Ridge zone. Loose puck behind the net. Henson battling for it. Henson comes away with it. Gets checked into the corner. Norris in there to help him. And Rockridge comes away with the puck. Shot from the red line, deep into the Brainerd zone. Reed picks up the puck. Out to Norris. Backhands it back to Reed at the red line. He dumps it in. He gets tripped up before he crosses the blue line. No tripping penalty there. Should have been. Rockridge trying to clear the puck out of his zone now. Kept in by Hoff at the blue line. Chips it forward to Leary. He centers it. Nobody there. Rockridge trying to send it back out. Hoff sends it in deep again. Leary to Lick on the far side. Leary tries to center, or Lick tries to center it to Books. It's intercepted. Loose puck on the far boards, chipped out to neutral zone. Reed sends it off the wall. Leary picks it up and skates across the blue line. Roush over to Lick. Lick picks up the puck, skates it in. Pokes it forward to Roush. Roush with the puck. Bottom of the right wing circle. Got 3 defenders on him. Circles around behind the net now. Centering pass, nobody there. And Rockridge sends it all the way down ice. No icing. Lee picks it up. Sends it to Hoff, who skates it in. Poked off his stick as he crosses the blue line. And offsides. It's poked back across the blue line by Roush. And Reed was still in zone. 10:38 left in the second period. Lick Lick on the face-off. Wins the face-off, back to Velasco. Sends it to Bloom, who dumps it deep in the Rock Ridge zone. Roush in after it. Lick there with him. Roush shot. Low left wing circle. Pad save by Rock Ridge goalie, and Rock Ridge skates it out into the Brainerd zone on the left side. Angled away by Lee. Loose puck picked up by Lick. Lick back the other way. He's bumped off the puck before he crosses the blue line. And Rock Ridge forced to skate in deep in their zone. Send it off the glass out to center ice where Lee's waiting. Lee tries to ship it forward. It bounces off the player. Knows how to break away. Velasco, far side wall of the neutral zone, sends it down ice for an icing. 9:43 left in the second. Henson on the face-off. Norris and Bloom, I think. Yep. Gakin, Potvin, and Reed. Rockridge dumps the puck deep into the Brainerd zone, picked up by Potvin. Skates behind the net, up the middle, passes it to Gakin. Gakin on the left wing side, dumps it in. Off the Rockridge goalie's stick. Henson chasing after it behind the net. Rockridge. Potvin catches it on the far side wall and flicks it back deeper in the zone, but Rockridge just sends it out to neutral zone. Reed with it. Reed up the right wing side. Dangles a little bit and loses the puck. Reed again. Sends it deep into the Rockridge zone. Henson up front. Norris. Velasco throwing a check on the far side wall. Rockridge still controlling the puck. Norris chasing after him in their zone. Batted down by Brooks. Sends it back to the D. Brooks tries to sweep it into the zone. Comes Velasco up the far side wall, centering past the Books and bounces off his stick. Slap shot by Hoff. Hits some traffic out front, and Rockridge decides to ice it. 8 minutes, 11 seconds left in the second. Score 0-1, and shots on goal, it says 11-0. Lick on the face-off. Brings it back to Books, who chips it to Hoff, but Rockridge sends it down ice again for another icing. We got Lick, Leary, Books, and Velasco and Reed. Books circling, shot on goal. Glove save by the Rockridge goalie. Face off again in the right wing circle. Lick. Rockridge wins the face off. Send it along the wall, clear it out to the zone. It's picked up by Books, who trips up as he crosses the blue line. Rockridge sends it back out to the neutral zone, bouncing, and ultimately sent into deep in the Brainerd zone. Hoff with it, far corner. Tries to pass it out to Books. It's intercepted. Rockridge, 2-on-1, shot on goal.
Oh, nice save.
Deflection. Intercepted by Leary. Puck loose in the left corner. Looks battling for it out to the point. Shot from the Rockridge right D goes wide, and Windgren grabs it for a whistle. Face off right wing circle, Brainerd zone, Henson, Roush, Bloom, I think. Reed on D. Lee's out there. Rockridge, centering pass. Shot goes over the net. Left wing circle. Battle on near side boards. Chips out to neutral zone. Bloom tries to take off with it. He gets tied up as he enters the zone. Still controlling it. Henson with it. Right wing circle. He gets tied up by 3 defensemen. Out to Lee, who sends it deep into the Rockridge zone off the back wall. Bloom picks it up, circles behind the net, sends it back to Roush in the near corner. He gets tied up a little bit. Roush still with it, centering pass to Henson. Gets a shot off, but saved by the Rockridge goalie. .6:19 left in the second period. Lick, Gaken, Norris with Potvin and Reed. No, Potvin and Hoff. Rockridge up the left side. Hoff angles him over the boards. Norris steals it away and kicks it down ice. Lick picks it up in the far corner of the Rockridge zone. Dekes the defenseman, sends it out to Hoff. Hoff fires it right into the midsection of the Rockridge goalie from the blue line. 5:57 left. Lick on the face-off. Wins it to Gaken. Gaken circling up the middle. Shot. Oh, goes off the glove of the Rockridge goalie into the near corner. Lick after it falls down, and Rockridge trying to clear it out, tied up on the near boards. And pops out to the neutral zone. Potvin chips it back forward. Gaken and Norris battling. Off. Sends it deep into the Rockridge zone. Norris goes after it behind the net. Checks down a player. Slap shot by Hoff from the top of the right wing circle. Goes wide. Lick with it, left wing circle. Tries to deke a player, but loses the puck. And it's popped out to neutral zone. Rockridge 2-on-2. Good defense by Hoff and Potvin. Gaken to Lick. Lick in the Rockridge zone in the far wall. Puck out. Into the Brainerd zone, Velasco deep in the zone with Lee passing it back and forth behind the net. He skated out, chip forward to Leary. Leary just inside the zone, pass to Books up the middle, poked off his stick. Leary picks it up in the near corner, and Books tries to send it to Lick, who's high slot, but it's behind him. Lee sweeps it around the near side boards in the Brainerd zone. Books. Lick tying it up just inside the blue line. Brainerd zone. I think the puck popped over the boards. I can't tell. Face off right wing circle, Brainerd zone. Henson out there now with Roush and Bloom. Velasco and Lee for D. Velasco sends it to Lee behind the Brainerd net. To Bloom. Bloom chips it back to Lee. Lee chips it forward to Roush. Goes off his stick and picked up by Rockridge. Rockridge back the other way. Send it deep into the Brainerd zone. Lee back to Velasco. Sends it back to Lee. Lee tries to send it on the board. Goes off a player. Out to the Rockridge right D. Behind the net now, tied up by Henson and Lee. Behind the net. poke check by Velasco, who pokes it down ice. Velasco skates it in on the left side. Pass to Bloom. Bloom shot. Saved by Rockridge. Lee keeps it in, dumps it in deep. And Roush, a little poke check there, sweeps the puck back at the goalie. And Rockridge goalie has to cover it up for a whistle. Line change for Brainerd. Lee, Gakin, Norris, Reed, and Potvin on D. Lick wins the faceoff, backhand from high slot, goes wide. Norris after the goes after behind the net. Norris in the far corner spins away back towards behind the net. Centering pass intercepted, sent back in deep. Out to the point. Reed shot goes in. Nice. Looked like the puck took a bounce or deflection. Reed shot there. I think Lick maybe got a little stick on that one. Brainerd on the board. 1-1 with 2:52 left. Looks like the refs are discussing something, but that puck clearly went in. Face-off, he wins it back to Potvin, tips it to the right side for Norris off the wall. Norris skates it in on the right side and gets tied up in the far corner. Lick comes, gets the loose puck, he steps up. Oh, shot off of the corner of the net. Loose puck again. Lick still battling for it on his knees. Gets it to the slot, but goalie covers it up. Tussle in front of the net there, and like Lick's effort, but okay. Brainerd line change, right wing circle face off, Rockridge zone. Henson, Leary, Books, Henson. Books tries to send out the point. Off has to send it back, but picked up by Rockridge and chips it forward. Velasco's back to pick that up, sends it out to the blue line. Loose puck, Books, back to Leary on the red line. Leary skates it in on the right side, off there with him. Leary to Books, coming in on the left D, fans on it, and Rockridge back the other way. Velasco's back, and Books chases back, able to defend that. Puck loose, high slot, out to the right D. Rockridge, wrist shot, blocked by Books. Check down. That should have been an interference. Well after Books had released that puck, they checked him down. Looks like he's okay. Face off right wing circle, Brainerd zone. Lick. He steals the puck away, chips it up, ends up into the bench at Rockridge. Another whistle. Lick's Roush and Bloom. Roush takes the face off as Lick was sent away. Up behind the net. Out to Lick on the Lick up through the neutral zone, sends it in deep as he crosses the red line, or the center line. Potvin, shot from the point, saved by Rockridge goalie. Lick got a little shot at it as it bounced off the goalie. Their defenders didn't like that too much. Chirping there. Lick on the face-off, left wing circle. Loose puck chipped out by Rockridge. Coming on the right side. Shot from wide, goes far side. Out to their left D, shot. Center mass. And Velasco out now on D. Looking the face off, wins it back to Reed. Reed pop in up to Roush. Roush sends it forward to Bloom. Gets it inside zone on the left side, but Rockridge steals it away. Comes out into the neutral zone. Chip back in for an offsides on Brainerd. 53 seconds left in the second period. Still a tie game, 1-1. Henson on the face-off. Wins it over to Norris, but Rockridge gets a stick on it. Send it into the Brainerd zone on the far side. Picked up by Reed to Velasco, back to Reed, deep in the Brainerd zone. Shot from outside the blue line by Rockridge. Glove save by Van Winkeren. Face off in the Brainerd zone now. Henson wins the face off back to Reed. Reed sends it to Velasco behind the net. Velasco up the near side boards to Bloom. Bloom skates it in on the left side. Centers it. Shot off the leg pad. Norris, loose puck. Flip towards the net. Reed out at the point. It's tied up. And puck out in neutral zone now. Reed circles away. Back through the neutral zone. Pokes it forward. Rockridge grabs it and sends it down ice. Velasco gets a stick on it just as the buzzer goes off. That's the end of the second period. They're going to Zamboni now. I'll see you guys back in 15 minutes or so. Start of the third period, tie game 1-1. Got Lick out on center. Start of the period, got Leary and Books on wing. Reed and Popman on D. Up in the Rock Ridge zone, they clear it out. Oh, tripping coming up on Matt Leary. Swung at the loose puck and Brainerd on the penalty kill right away. Henson out on center now with Gakin on his left wing. Reed and Lee, it looks like. No, Reed and Velasco off. Sweeps the puck behind the Brainerd net. Velasco off the boards. Rockridge out to the right D. Over the right D. Left D. Down low on the left. Centering pass. Top shelf score by Rock Ridge on the power play. Less than a minute into the third period. Lick, Bloom, Roush, Lee, and Popman. Lick wins the face-off. Back to Lee. Over to Popman. Back to Lick up the middle. Lick to Bloom. Bloom, shot, score! That was a beautiful play. Textbook. Nice wrist shot by Bloom from the red wing face-off, right wing face-off circle. Went on the low right side of the net. Back to a tie game, 2-2. Blake wins the face-off. Bloom tipped it in the Rock Ridge zone. Bloom after it. Back to the near corner. Roush. Poke check. Roush with the puck behind the net. Tries to center to Lick. Goes off a skate. Bounces out to center ice. Botman out back after it. Is challenged. Puck behind the Brainerd net now. Pick up off the wall by Gakin, who gets it out to the neutral zone. Poke off his stick. Rockridge. Sends it to the center. And then they chip it in. Deep in the Brainerd zone. Lee loses the puck at his feet just inside the goal line in the Brainerd zone. Lick picks it up and skates it down ice. Lick in the near corner, Rockridge zone. Bloom there. Help him. Lick comes away with it. Circles. Lick. Nice! Lick somehow steals that puck out of the corner. Starts to skate back towards behind the net and spins around and gets it up high over the goalie's shoulder. So 3-2 Brainerd.
All right, come on, Brainerd.
Henson throwing off the face-off. Leary. Rock Ridge. In the Brainerd zone, sent behind the net by Velasco, picked up along the boards by Leary out to Henson. Henson over to Books, who gets a shot off. Glove save by Rockridge goalie. Henson on the face-off left wing circle. Won by Rockridge. Loose in the near corner. Henson chasing after it. Leary steals it away. Leary out to Books. Books in the slot. Oh, I thought that went in. Puck behind the net. Leary with it. Got Plenty of room, nobody challenging him. Pass to Books, hits a skate. Henson backhands it, goes behind the net. Larry picks it up again. Tied up along the boards. Books and Henson there to help him out. Larry still battling for the puck in the near corner. Rockridge zone. Henson there with him. Loose puck. Rockridge. Larry knocks him down. Rockridge clears it out to center ice for Reed. Reed loses the puck and Rockridge tips it deeper in the Brainerd zone. Has to go after it. Spins away. Sends it up on the far side boards. Sent back in deep by Rockridge. Velasco tips it behind the net. Norris back to Velasco. Books chips it out in the neutral zone where Lick picks it up. Lick, Norris. Lick's shot goes up high over the glass as it's tipped for a whistle. Face off left wing circle of the Rockridge zone. Lick, Norris, and Gaken. Lee and Hoff on D. Lick tips it forward. Rockridge carries it out. Lick back the other way, up the middle. Shot by Gaken as it came off Lick's stick. Covered by the Rockridge goalie. Tussle up front, but penalties called. Left wing for circle face off again. Lick gets it back to Hoff. Hoff backhands it deep in the zone. Rung around behind the net. Lee stops it. Sends it back in deep. Gaken in the corner. Centers it and goes off with Norris' stick. Rockridge carries it out. Rockridge up the left side. Centering pass intercepted by Norris. Who turns back the other way. Norris and Gaken. Norris into the Rockridge zone up the middle, hits traffic and loses the puck. Rockridge tries to center it, picked up by Gaken this time. Gaken dumps it in deep. He's checked down just inside the blue line. Puck tied up on the near side boards by Bloom. Sent out to neutral zone, dumped back in by Potvin. Rauschen after it. Over to Bloom, near corner. He's checked. Henson picks up the loose puck. Henson out to the point. Potvin from the point. Shot high and wide. Ends up on the near side. Reed dumps it in deep. Henson in after it. Rockridge able to clear it out. Rockridge up the middle. One guy. Left wing coming up the middle now. Puck in the far corner. Tied up by Potvin. Out to Roush. Reed intercepts the centering pass and chips it out across the blue line on the far side. Henson right on the blue line. Chips it back out to the neutral zone and Rockridge heads back into the Brainerd zone. They're just off sides as they enter the zone. 9:14 left in the game. Lick books Leary. Rockridge brings the face off. Lick steals it away. Lick up the middle. Deeps. Tries a deeper on a man, but he gets tied up. Out to Velasco at the point. Shot. Stick save. Lick in the corner. Loose puck picked up by Leary. He tries to spin around, but hooked off his stick. And Rockridge back the other way. Loose puck behind the zone, poked out. Books with it, far side, tries to center it. It's intercepted and Rockridge spins away deep in their zone. Chased down by Books. They try to clear it out, but Lick keeps it in zone with a skate. Brainerd line change now. Rockridge up the right side, Potvin on D. Their shot goes wide. and out into the neutral zone. Norris with it up the right side. Shot off the pad. Rebound out to the point. Lee, another shot. Glove save by Rockridge goalie. .8:01 left in the third period. Henson on the face-off. Norris and Gaitkin. Henson wins the face-off to the near side boards. Tying it up with Norris. Henson and Norris battling for the puck on the near side still. Rockridge with it now. Send it behind their net to the far corner. Stolen away by Gaitkin. He has it behind the net. Out to the front. Henson poking at it. Ends up behind the net again. Rockridge clears it out. And down ice. Icing is waved off. Popman chases back after it deep in the Brainerd zone. Spins behind the net, back the other way. Keeps Gaitkin, bounces off his stick. Rockridge gets it. Shot off of somebody's shin pads. Lee with it behind the Brainerd net. Out to Gaitkin. He has to send it back behind the net for Lee. He tips it forward. Norris sends it down ice, and Rockridge chases after it. Lick trailing. Rockridge up the right side, just inside the blue line. Roush and Bloom putting on pressure. Lick steals it away. Lick looking for someone to pass to, sends it. Centers it to Roush, bounces off his stick, and Rockridge steals it away. Sends it back to neutral zone. Glasgow to Lick. Lick in on the left side. It's got a little room. Going to set something up, centers it. Off the goalie's stick. Rebound picked up by Rockridge. Back the other way. Stick. Reed deep in the Brainerd zone to Velasco on the far side. Velasco skates it out into the neutral zone up the far wall. Stops inside the blue line. Sends it to Roush, who's in the far corner. Roush centering pass. Poke down ice. Icing waved off. Held by Van Wingren. Reed out to Bloom. Bloom to Roush, center ice. Roush in on the left side. Sends it back to Bloom. Bloom spins. Can't get a shot off. Sends it in deep to Roush behind the net. Centering pass to Lick. Off from the point to Lick. Bounces off his skate. Rockridge sends it along the wall out to neutral zone where it's picked up by Hoff. Off the Books center ice, sends it in. Loose puck, center ice again. Leary now, skating up the near side, off the back glass, deep in the Brainerd zone on the far side, or in the Rockridge zone on the far side. Rockridge with the puck. They skate it out, up through neutral zone, right up the middle. Skates right up to Van Wingren, who stick save. Leary, near side boards. Chips it out to neutral zone, picked up by Books. Books skates it in, got Henson with him. Shot. Henson tied up, we're not able to get the rebound. Books sends it out to Hoff at the point. It bounces over the blue line. They have to reset. Hoff over to Lee, near side, back to Hoff, just inside the Brainerd blue line. Hoff skates it into the neutral zone and fires it down ice. The rest of them can line change. Henson pokes it in deep behind the net. Norris and Gaitkin battling for the puck deep in the Rockridge zone. Norris chases after it in the far corner. Sends it out front. Nobody there. Poked out to Reed. Reed shot. Bounces over the net and far corner. Rockridge trying to clear it out. They do. One player up the middle. He's angled off by Potvin. And it's sent back deep in the Brainerd zone where it's picked up by Reed. Reed spins away from a Rockridge player out to Norris on the near side. Sends it out to center ice for Gaitkin. Bounces off his stick where Rockridge regains control. Rockridge shot from outside the blue line goes wide. picked up by Potvin to Gakin to Lick. He's tripped just as he enters the neutral zone, so Brainerd's going to go on power play. His Lick skates were hooked. Face off, left wing circle, Rockridge zone. Lick, Roush, Bloom, Velasco, and Reed on D. 3:22 left in the game. Brainerd 2-minute power play. Lick on the face off. Up deep in the zone, far corner. Comes out to the point. Velasco steps up. Dangles it. Velasco. Oh, blocker save. Nice shot by Velasco. Back to Reed on left D. And puck almost bounces across the goal. Bloom sends it in deep. Lick on the far wall. Bloom out to Reed. Velasco steps up. Shot. Stick save by Rockridge. Rebound picked up by Roush in the far corner. Sends it deep to Lick. It's tied up. Lick skates behind the net. He's got some room now. Spins away. Lick still behind the net. Nobody challenging him yet. He sends it out to Bloom on the far wall. Up to Velasco. Velasco back to Bloom. Back to Velasco, who's up. High slot over to Reed. Reed shot off the glove. Reed sends it behind the net to Bloom. Bloom out to Lick on the far wall. Lick sends it back deep into the zone. And Roush has to chase after it. Bloom on the goal line, tries to bounce it off of a player. Lick out to the point. Oh, bounces over Velasco's stick. Down ice. Velasco has to chase after just inside the Brainerd zone. Sends it over to Lick in the neutral zone. He dumps it in deep. And Brainerd's going to come off for a line change. 30 seconds left in the power play. Norris up the right side, looking to set something up just inside the blue line. To Gakin. Gakin spins away. To Hoff on right D. Hoff off the right circle. Skates it in deeper. Sends it behind the net to Gakin. Gakin gets tied up. Comes away with the puck. Gakin with the puck in the near corner now. Pokes it up to Hoff. Hoff from the point. Centers it. Poked away. Leary battling for it. And Rockridge able to clear it. The end of the power play. 1 minute 11 left in the game. Brainerd still up 3-2. Leary up the middle. Over to Norris on the right wing side. Norris after it in the corner. Leary there to help him. Norris with the puck. Near corner. Out to Hoff at the point. Hoff shot. It's covered by the goalie for a whistle. Brainerd putting on a lot of pressure here at the end of this game. 52 seconds left on the clock. Henson, Bloom, Roush out now with Reed and Potvin on D. Henson wins the face-off over to Bloom. Bloom kicks it to Reed. Reed shot from the point, stick save, and covered for a whistle. Henson. Rockridge wins the face-off deep in their zone. Try to send it cross zone, ends up out at the center circle. Potvin inside the Brainerd zone, sends it out to neutral zone. Rockridge trying to come in on the Brainerd zone on the left side, left wing circle, shot saved by Ben Wengren. Sent behind the net. Centering pass, loose puck. Bloom picks it up and sends it down ice. Rockridge after it, they have pulled their goalie, and it's an icing on Brainerd. Puck will come back to the Brainerd zone, right wing circle. Rockridge with an open net. Lick, Books, and Leary out. Velasco with the puck in the Brainerd zone, chips it up along the wall to Books. Books gets the puck, open net, goes off the post. Lick, that's the end of the game. Books almost got an open net goal there.
Great goal.
Final score 3-2 Brainerd.